First question, Tim, standing on the left side.
Tim Kawakami, Mercury News, behind people here. Kevin, obviously a whole bunch of things happened there in the fourth quarter, but you take the three over LeBron to put you ahead for the first time there. How did that develop? Was that just a matter of you were going to attack the basket, or it was there you take the shot?
You answered your own question.
I don't like when I do that.
I just tried to. First off, it was a great stop. Who got that stop? I want to say Clay, maybe. Somebody got the stop, and that always starts on the defensive side with us. And we know, if we get off the board and push, we're a dangerous team. And I seen them back it up, and I just wanted to take that shot. And also it was a good time. I mean, it was 45 seconds to go. We were down 2. If I missed, we could have got another stop. But glad I was able to knock that down. I just tried to stay disciplined in my shot, hold my follow through. And it went in. But more importantly, we got 2 stops after that. So we got to build on that, but we got to be better at Game 4.
And for Steph, just what was the emotion of all that whole run, that entire time? Just say, from the last half of that quarter, what were you talking to each other about? What was the feeling like?
Yeah, we were talking. We gotta love the situation. I mean, on the road, didn't play our best game, but had a chance to get a couple of stops and kind of rectify the situation down the stretch. And we had a ton of energy and belief in each other on both ends of the floor down the stretch. So that was a great feeling to kind of overcome their run, the crowd's energy, and just find a way to win. Having a close game down the stretch. Honestly, it's been a while, and that was a great feeling to kind of just overcome, stick to it, and just find a way to win.
Chris
Haynes, ESPN. Steph, I believe you said something along the lines of this might have been the biggest win during this 3-year run that you guys have been on. Would you elaborate why? Why is that?
I mean, obviously we're in the moment, and this 48 minutes was right in front of us, the only goal we had in mind. And just the way that the game went, it was back and forth, it was high intensity. We know our terrible record in Game 3s on the road in the playoffs historically, and especially in this building, we've never played well. And this is all that talk that we had going into it, just not getting complacent, find a way to have energy, try to play a smart game, which there's some things we can even do better and clean up. Just all those variables going into tonight and the way that they played pretty much the whole game to find a way to win was just an amazing accomplishment and set us up for hopefully a great night Friday where we can back it up. So all those things is just a great momentum swing kind of win.
Mike on the left side.
Mike Wise, ESPN's The Undefeated. For both you guys, LeBron just came in here and said that he probably hasn't faced a team with the firepower of you guys in the finals or even in the playoffs for that matter. And so I guess I'd just be asking, you're one game before becoming possibly the first team in league history to go 16-0 in the playoffs. One, is that part of the goal? And 2, do you even care?
I'm sorry, Stephen.
It is now because we took care of tonight. It's not in terms of like 16-0 really just of what that means historically. It's just that's what's in front of us, and we obviously know how hard it is to win a championship, what all goes into it, and how important each game is. And now that you can look ahead to Friday, all our focus is on that, and we always say we just want 16 wins. It doesn't matter how we get there, but now that we're in this situation, why not take care of business and finish the job? So we have to, we got to play better. But just thinking about what's next, and that's the goal in front of us, is winning that 16 game. It doesn't really matter what how we got there.
Kevin, you're on the precipice of your first NBA Finals, 1 game away victory. Just your thoughts right now going into Game 4.
Well, it's not over. Job's not done. Closeout games are always the toughest, as you heard from many players in this league over the years, how tough closeout games are on the road. I've never been in this position, being up in the finals and trying to close it out. So I know how exciting that's going to be for us as a team. But their fans are going to be into it. They're going to be wanting a win, from their team. And tonight it showed. Fans were great. J.R. Smith fed off that energy. Kevin Love, of course, LeBron and Kyrie did. So we got to be even better at Game 4 if we want to take this. So it's an exciting time, but the job's not done. We still got a lot of work to do.
Ron, over here behind the camera.
Steph, Ron Krychek from the San Francisco Chronicle. You guys haven't played too many close games in the last few months where it's in doubt in the last 2 minutes. What was the look like in Kevin's eyes in the huddle, on the court, those last couple minutes? It seemed like he obviously did seize control of those last decisive minutes.
A confident basketball player that knows his ability, and the moment never overwhelms any of us, especially Kay. And it was fun to watch when we were in those possessions. Just the patience and composure I think we all had. And when he had the ball in his hands, getting to a spot, having confidence in himself to make those kind of plays. And like he said before, it all fed off of our defense. Collectively, all 5 guys, trying to, just find a way to get a stop so we can have the opportunity to seize control of the game and, get over that hump. So, the timeouts and even those dead ball periods, everybody, there's no panic. It was kind of peaceful, really. Just, there's a lot of time left. Let's just figure it out. And he obviously made some big shots, and we got some big stops.
Fifth row in the middle.
Spencer Davies, Basketball Insider. This is for both of you. Was there a sense that the Cavs had multiple opportunities to try and at least put some real pressure on you guys by going up 6-8 points, but you guys kind of kept swinging? Was there just a sense that they just couldn't put you guys away?
I mean, we try to do something about that by not letting go of the rope. Like I said, staying patient, staying composed, no matter if they made tough shots or not. The biggest thing we did down the stretch, we didn't turn the ball over. We did it the entire game, but those last 4 to 6 minutes, we just got shots up and finished those possessions, make or miss, and that's something that you can't allow that momentum to swing back by giving away possessions. So when we got stops, Clay hits a huge 3 in the corner off of K, finding him in transition. Obviously, the 2 plays he made were off of stops and pushing in transition. So you got to give yourself an opportunity, but you got to, execute down the stretch, make or miss, just to, finish off those possessions with good shot attempts and give yourself a chance, and we did that.
Al, over here.
Al Sarasovic, San Francisco Chronicle. I guess a question for both of you. I'm interested in that stretch of time in the second quarter. Things got pretty testy out on the court. I know, Steph, you had some words with Shumpert, I believe, and then Draymond got a technical. Were you concerned at all about your team losing their composure, or any memories of the similar incidents in last year's finals? And then, Kevin, maybe I know that you were talking to Draymond in that interchange. If you could share anything you could from that moment.
I think, basketball is a feisty sport. Both teams want to win. The crowd, was giving them a lot of energy, and those guys came out with a lot of force. And, sometimes that brings some commotion out there between 2 teams. So it's nothing personal. It's nothing serious. We moved on. Draymond got a tech. He, gathered it, got it back together, and we moved on. So it just didn't linger. We didn't let, a call we didn't like or a turnover or a missed assignment linger over to the next play. It was always about the next possession. And even when things aren't going your way with the refs or your shot, anything, we just try to move on. And tonight, it showed over the year that we talked about that a lot. It's not worrying about the refs, not getting distracted, and tonight it kind of came full circle. So.
Did you guys hear the crowd chanting his name during the game? Did you even register that?
Chant at who?
There was a Draymond chant going on in the Cleveland crowd. I was wondering if anybody even mentioned that in the huddle or anything like that.
Didn't hear it
You could hear it on the tape then, all right?
Yeah.
No, I didn't hear it at all. Like you said, we learn from our mistakes, and when you play a team over, and this is our 20th time playing them in 3 years, there's going to be some stuff that happens, and you just got to kind of persevere and get through it, especially on the road.
Mark on the left.
Steph, Mark Schwartz, ESPN. You guys put a lot of eggs into that 73 basket last year. Didn't work out. How much of that lack of success played into the fact that you guys have not put seemingly any effort into trying to go 16-0 this year?
We've been asked about it. We've talked about it since the finals last year. That last season was a very unique year for a lot of different reasons, and we learned a lot. I think we've grown and matured just mentally of how to just pace yourself through this long year and take every day as a new experience and something that you can kind of take control of. So we've tried to control the narrative and the conversations and just our talk in the locker room and in practice and throughout especially like the last 3 months of just understanding what our goal is and how we're going to get there day by day. So being in this position right now, obviously, it's working, and we have to keep that keyhole mentality of, what's next. And we're right there. So that's a great thing, but obviously, we're not done yet. So I think we've done a pretty good job of growing up as a team.
One quick follow-up for either of you. Steve Kerr said that he kept telling you guys, LeBron and Kyrie can't do this for 48 minutes. They're going to get tired. Did that seem apparent to you that they ran out of gas toward the end?
It didn't look like it to me. I mean, they both shot over 50% from the field. 50%. My math's not really good, but they shot over 50%. They both had almost 40 points, and they did it for 40, plus minutes. They played extremely well, but I just think we stayed in front of them late in the game and got a contest on some shots and rebounded the basketball. But they had it going all night. You got to give them credit.
Kenny on the right.
Steph, Kenny Rowe to WHBC. You mentioned that calmness down the stretch, even though you were down. Was it there last year, or was that calmness because of the guy that's sitting to your left?
I mean, he obviously helps the situation, but the experience that we've been through definitely helps. You hope that we can learn from how the games got away from us in game threes on the road here, where 2 or 3 possessions where you give them, easy open threes or turn the ball over, they get breakaway dunks, all that kind of stuff where the crowd really gets into it and they feed off of that energy. We did a pretty good job of cutting that out this year. So that was huge. And we just, as a group, everybody understood what the little things that they could do down the stretch to help us win. And, not all of it's just scoring. It's the little stuff. Like he said, Klay Thompson was amazing, down the stretch, just trying to make it as tough as possible on Kyrie in those one-on-one situations. Andre staying locked in on LeBron in those moments. Katie and Draymond communicating, being our anchors on defense. And that part of it is just so much fun to be a part of and watch as everybody just is fighting, being dogs out there, just trying to get it done. And, we're right there.
Ramona, Dan, and Chris, last 3.
Ramona Shelburne, ESPN. It's a question for Kevin. How does this time through the finals compare to the last time you were there? I mean, these guys have been in here 2 years in a row. They played this team so many times, but this is obviously different for you and sitting here right now up 3-0.
Yeah, like I said earlier, I've never been in this position before. I don't want to relax. It's not over. This is a crazy game. Anything can happen. So I don't want to relax or feel like it's over. It's not. And, I'm just trying to enjoy this moment, try not to look in the future or in the past. Just try to just stay in the present and enjoy this moment and for what it's worth and just keep pushing, keep getting better and then I'll sit back and probably reflect on everything, once the season's over. But for now, I'm just trying to stay in the moment, enjoy every single minute, and, just keep getting better.
Dan, back right.
Dan Devine, Yahoo Sports. Steph, you just mentioned the work that Klay did down the stretch defensively on Kyrie. obviously such a difficult assignment with what Kyrie can do one-on-one. What has Clay's work in this series on Kyrie meant to your team? And also, Clay mentioned that when you guys see him getting going, it gets you guys excited offensively. What kind of effort did he put out in the first quarter? Did that really sort of get you guys on a roll offensively?
Well, yeah, for Clay offensive, we're never worried about him. He's always aggressive. We know he's a threat, whether he's making or missing shots just by his presence on the floor. But tonight he was smart about, getting to the right spots, finding his looks, being confident, knocking them down early, being aggressive. Definitely gave us a boost. And you're right, like when we see him getting going, it's fun to watch because he's pretty much automatic when he's in that zone and putting pressure on defense. And then defensively, obviously Kyrie got his numbers. You see his stat line, but over the course of 44 minutes, he's going to make tough shots, and it's just a matter of can you stick to it every possession, just trying to make him work. And Clay didn't hang his head when Kyrie was going off. He stuck with it, and when it mattered most down the stretch, I think all that pressure kind of showed itself, and Clay really helped us get over the hump by getting a couple stops. So. He's, a lot's been said about his defense and how important it is, and you can't understate it. It's just he understands how valuable he is for us on that end of the floor.
Chris, final question, back right.
Chris Fedor, Cleveland.com. Kevin, for you, you had 1 point in the third quarter, 14 in the fourth quarter. What changed for you in the fourth? What allowed you to be so successful when you didn't have that success in the third?
I didn't look at it as an unsuccessful third quarter, and that's half of the battle there. I just tried to stay positive and move on to the next play. And knowing the fourth, that coach will call my number, my teammates going to look for me. It's on me to finish. I work on my game every day, and I just had to trust in that. And I was able to get some shots to go in, and but we played with force in the fourth. In the third quarter, we were a little bit too relaxed. We were up 6 and. That was a good place for us to be coming out of the half, but we didn't do what we were supposed to do in the third. So I think we just played with more force as a group in the fourth quarter, and they put it on us in the third. So we got to watch some film and see how we can be better coming out of half.
Stay in front of them, force them into outside shots if you can. Fatigue will play a role, and I think when you get guys playing 45, 44 minutes, basically attacking one-on-one the whole game, it's, you hope eventually it's going to take its toll. I wasn't sure if after a while they just were going nuts, but I think we just stayed with it and our defense finally kicked in.
Thanks. Second row on the left.
Simone Sandri, Gazzetta dello Sport. Can you talk about rebounding, which should have been an advantage for the Cavs? And today, actually, you out-rebounded by 7,
Yeah.
and Curry actually out-rebounded both Christian Thompson and actually out-rebounded Smith and Irving combined.
It's been a big factor for us. Zaza's done a really good job putting a body onto Tristan. Love, I thought, changed the game midway through the third quarter when he got like 3 straight offensive boards. But wrapped around that was really a good job by us on the glass for most of the night.
Ron, right here.
Ron Krajcik from the San Francisco Chronicle. Steve, can you sort of describe Kevin's demeanor in the fourth quarter? I mean, he went a little quiet for a while, and it seemed like he just took over there in the last minute and a half.
He took over. You can tell he knows this is his moment. He's been an amazing player in this league for a long time, and I think he senses this is his time, his moment, his team. And when I say his team, I mean, it's not literally just his team. It's we've got a group around him that can help him and create space for him with the shooting and the playmaking. And I think he's having the time of his life out there.
In the center.
Steve, Bill Bender, Sporting News. You guys knocked down 60% of your threes in the first half, about 50% for the game. Just what were your thoughts on your ability to knock down those shots at the right time?
It was huge early in the game because we knew Cleveland was going to bring that force. We knew the crowd was going to be into it. KD and Clay hit early threes. Steph hit a couple. I thought the three-point shooting was critical just to keep our head above water while we were trying to get some traction in the game.
Hi, Coach. Aaron Atade from the Philippines. You guys kept your composure all throughout that fourth quarter and even pretty much throughout the game. Do you attribute that to what happened last year, that you guys definitely learned this time around that you were not going to give up at any point in this game?
I think I said before the game, I think we're a better team, partly because, obvious reasons. We have Kevin Durant on our team. But I think we're better from our experiences. You win a championship, and you lose one in heartbreaking fashion. You've pretty much seen everything at that point. And so you get down in the fourth quarter. It's a 5-point game with 6 minutes left. You don't say, oh, man, we're down 5. You just say there's a ton of time left, and let's execute. And I thought our guys did a good job at hanging in there.
Thanks, Coach. Standing on the left side.
Steve, Jimmy Durkin, Bay Area News Group. You talked about Kyrie and his night, but that third quarter, what were you thinking, kind of just watching him being able to just attack so much and finish the way he was?
Didn't surprise me. I mean, this guy's one of the best players in the league for a reason. He's probably the best finishing guard in the league. And we knew at home he was going to play better. He didn't have his best games in Oakland, and we just felt like we just had to do our best that we could on him. But it didn't surprise me at all, the kind of night he had. That's who he is.
Last 3 questions here, and then 2 in the middle.
Coach, Yoav Dubinsky, Kalkalist Israel. Anything specific that you took from Game 3 last year? Because you came in kind of a similar situation after winning the first two games at home in a nice fashion, and then last year you got blown out here. Anything
just the circumstance, not so much anything strategic, but more circumstances. You're up 2-0. It doesn't mean that much. You have to win on the road to really seize control of the series. And last year's game, we got blown out. So we were more ready emotionally. And as I said, we're a better team, obviously. With Kevin, we've got a way to attack. What I remember from that game last year is their defense pushed us out to half court. They were grabbing and really being physical on our shooters. Well, it's a little easier to attack that when you've got Kevin Durant, obviously.
Thanks.
Last question in the middle.
Coach Spencer Davies, Basketball Insiders. Was there a sense with the team in that last stretch where you just saw that the Cavs couldn't exactly capitalize on some when they got them stops, and then you guys got some second chance opportunities too, and really just kept kind of swinging?
Again, the only thing I saw was that I thought fatigue was an issue because the game was so hard fought. I think Kyrie and LeBron both played the entire second half. Maybe they got a few seconds rest, and that's a hard thing to do. And it's kind of what I think makes our team who we are. Is we've got a lot of guys who can play off the ball and.
Mike, just raise your hand. 4.
What's the message that you communicate to your team right now in what looks like a pretty perilous situation?
Well, we didn't have not many words after the game, so I figured it out within the next 48 hours. Obviously, it's a dramatic situation to be in, but it is what it is, and we got to get ready for Game 4. So we're gonna come in tomorrow. We're gonna watch some film, see ways we can get better, and just try to take it one game at a time.
Dave, back right.
LeBron, Dave McMenamin, ESPN. You guys are up 6 with 3:09 to go. What stands out to you in the remaining 3 minutes after that?
They made some shots and we didn't. I mean, we had some really good looks. I had a turnaround jumper and a post fadeaway. My ton didn't go in. Kyle had a corner 3, really good look right in front of their bench, didn't go in. And they came down and, Steph, one kind of ricocheted off the backboard. He got a tip in. KD got a pull up on Tristan, and then he shoots a bomb, in transition. So it's a miss or make lead. We make a couple, they miss a couple, then it's the other way around, but it didn't happen that way.
Robert over here.
Robert Littell, Black Sports Online. Last year, you guys did something that was never done before in the NBA Finals, coming back from 3-1. Now you have an opportunity to do that again. Does that give you some confidence, give the team some confidence that, hey, it was something last year they thought was impossible? Now, obviously a lot of people are going to be like, this is impossible.
Well, of course, but, for me personally, I don't get involved in what people talk about. It's not I've been out of that department. I told you guys this for a long time now. So, mentally, me personally, I got to go home, start my treatment right now, get my mind focused, get my body focused, and get my body ready for Game 4. And then we take it one possession at a time.
Mark on the left side.
Mark Schwartz, ESPN. LeBron, Steve Kerr was saying after the game that he kept telling his team, Kyrie and LeBron will get tired. They can't play one-on-one for 45 minutes. Was fatigue, in your mind, a factor in the late game execution?
No, we missed shots. I mean, I gave everything that I had. So, I mean, at times throughout the game, I was tired. But that's just because I was just playing as hard as I could. But I was able to get second and third and fourth wins. I don't contribute us losing this game because we got tired. Like I said, we missed some shots, and they made some.
And also, can you talk about your mindset when Kevin came up the court with about 40 seconds left to go and he paused at the three-point line when you were defending him?
What do you mean, my mindset?
Well, what were you looking to do in that situation, and what were you thinking he was going to do?
Well, I seen him getting ready to pull up. He uses a rhythm dribble to get a good look, and when KD shoots, he falls forward, and I wanted to get a contest. But the last thing I want to do is foul a jump shooter. So I wanted to jump and contest it, but I know when he shoots, he kind of leans forward a little bit. So I just stayed there, high hands, contested, and he made it.
Michael right here.
LeBron, Michael Grange from Sportsnet. I mean, did you guys, throughout that game, were you convinced you were going to win it, or did you feel like you were in control of it?
Of course we thought we was going to win. I mean, that's just, we had an opportunity. And they had opportunities as well, like I said. And they made the most of it, and we didn't. So, yeah, we came in the game believing we was going to win, for sure.
But I'm saying, as the game went on, like,
Yeah.
when you looked around the shots you were making, the way your guys were playing?
We were playing good basketball. Kyrie got it going. JR, got it going as well. So, we had some really good looks. Like I said, can't go back and, think of right now exactly all the possessions that we had in the fourth quarter, but we had some good looks.
Joe up front.
Joe Barton, Cleveland.com. LeBron, you had 39, 11, and 9, and Kyrie had 38 and 6. Does that constitute as your best shot? Did the Warriors take your best shot tonight?
It's so hard to say, but like I said, for me personally, I gave everything I had tonight. So, win, lose, or draw, you live with the results. Like I said, they played a really good game as well. But they made shots. They made shots down the stretch. They got stops, which they've been doing. We shot in the low 40s again. They got stops, and then they made play after play down the stretch.
They withstand that from you guys tonight. Game 2, they turn it over 20 times and still win. I mean, can you wrap your head around what kind of team you're dealing with here in the Warriors?
Before the series even started, we knew we was dealing with I said it after we won the Eastern Conference Finals that we getting ready for a juggernaut. It's probably the most firepower, I've played in my career. I've played against some great teams, but I don't think no team has had this type of firepower. So even when you playing well, you got to play like, A++, because they're going to make runs and they're going to make shots and they got guys that's going to make plays. So, we made enough plays tonight to still win the ball game, but they made a couple more.
Ken, back left.
Ken Berger with The Athletic. Along those lines, LeBron, you have faced a lot of great teams in the finals over the years. When there's so little room for error against this team, how physically and emotionally draining is that on you?
On me personally, obviously it's physically and emotionally draining. Because I give everything to the game and want to put myself and my teammates in a position to be successful. So, but I lay it all on the floor, and I did that tonight. Gave everything that I had, both mentally and physically. So, obviously, I'm drained right now. I'm ready to get home. But you're going against a team like this, and you put together a game like we had, where we had an opportunity. It's definitely draining.
Front row on the left.
Sherry from Tencent China. Will you look back of the game and think if there's more minutes I could play, if there's more I can do?
No, I did. Like I said, I gave everything that I had to this game. So I don't look at it saying I wish I could have did this or I'd have did that. I left it out on the floor.
Thank you, LeBron.
Kyrie, Davide Chinellato, Gazzetta Italy. How tough is mentally a loss like this, especially after you guys play so well since basically the end?
It's definitely tough. Hurts. Did some great things tonight. Came down to the stretch, and they made some big time plays. KD comes down, hits a big three, puts him up one. Ice it on the wing. I'll probably be replaying that play for a while, but it definitely hurts. I'm human as well as my teammates, and to lay it all on the line like that, you want to come out on the winning side, but we gave a great effort, and the result just didn't turn out the way we wanted it to.
Kenny, back towards the right.
I apologize if I'm shivering as well. I just got out of the cold tub, so don't think I'm getting sensitive on you guys. Just pretty cold.
Kyrie, Kenny wrote at WHBC. Coach Kerr said he kept telling his players they're going to run out of gas. They're going to run out of gas. Stay with it. Did you guys just simply run out of gas in that stretch where you got outscored 11-0 to close the game?
It's the finals. I mean, we had our horses in. Myself and Bron eclipsed the 43-minute mark. Playing pretty well. Then they make some big-time plays down the stretch. I mean, they're a juggernaut of a team. Do a great job of spacing out the floor, keeping a high tempo, and just made some big-time plays down the stretch. You got to give credit when credit is due.
Any other questions? In the back right, Dan.
Kyrie, Dan Devine, Yahoo Sports. You've been going back and forth with Clay for the last 3 games, really hand-to-hand combat for most of it. You were able to have a lot more success tonight. What did you see in the matchup that was able to sort of open things up for you this evening?
Saw some space, started attacking early, get in transition, off our rebounds. Off their misses. Got a few rebounds, got to push in transition. We got to the free throw line a little bit. Just stayed aggressive the whole entire game. I mean, when they're doing a great job of loading up on you every ISO, or every time you come out pick and roll, you got to find out ways to still be effective. So I tried to do that tonight, but, it wasn't enough. So.
Michael, right here.
Michael Grange from Sportsnet in Toronto. Kyrie, you do look kind of cold.
Yeah.
Each of these last couple of games, as a team, you guys have done some great things. You're down 3-0. Do you see enough to build on that you guys can look at and climb this mountain that's no one's ever climbed before?
We'll come and watch film tomorrow. Prepare for Game 4, just like we have the last 3 games. See where we can get better and go from there. We have to come out with a unbelievable mindset, unbelievable focus like we have, like we did tonight, and limit them to some of the things that they're comfortable at. When they have their 3 main guys, eclipsing almost the 30-point mark, it's going to be a tough game. So they definitely came to play tonight as well as we did. A few plays here and there that, I wish that we all could take back. A few miscommunications and stuff like that. That obviously we wanted to limit, but when you have a powerhouse like them, and you have a legitimate 3 big-time scorers that are able to affect the game like the way they did tonight, it'll be a tough matchup. But Game 4, I look forward to it. Another challenge for us, another chance for us to get better, and go against a great team. So,
Ron, right here in this corner here.
Ron Krejcik from the San Francisco Chronicle. As good as the Warriors were last year when you faced them, it seemed like this last couple minutes tonight shows how different it is with Durant, that he can get a shot even when he's guarded well.
Yep.
How much does that change the dynamics in a close game like this?
He was their closer tonight, for sure. Doing what he's supposed to be doing. Got to a spot. I got to switch out on Tristan. Hits a big-time shot baseline, and then just hits an unbelievable game winner. Just come down in transition that, only Kevin Durant can hit. So, you give credit when credit is due. now it's just time to go home, watch film, get prepared for Game 4.
Last question over here, Joe.
Joe Vargan, Cleveland.com. Maybe up until the Warriors were formed, could you have ever envisioned a night where LeBron scores 39 and you have 38 and you lose?
Nope. I mean, it's hard to envision, but they're definitely a different team than they were last year. That's definitely in full effect that we're all fully aware of. Going down the stretch, they're a lot more poised, and when you have pieces like they have, they're able to stretch the floor and give space to a great ISO player at the top of the key and make big time shots, and that's what they did. So,
thank you.
Yes.
3 minutes to go. What happened both offensively and defensively at that point?
I got to look at it. I don't know. I can't remember.
Do you think it was more, again, self-inflicted or what they were doing?
Well, if you miss shots, they get out in transition and they play so fast. So, when you miss shots, you got to have good floor balance because if you don't, they take advantage of it. And I really can't remember the last 3 plays, Kenny. Really, I can't.
Dave, go ahead.
Okay. Ty, Dave McMenamin, ESPN. Everything LeBron does gets dissected over and over again. I wanted to see your take on his look to Korver in the corner. I think that would have put you up by 2 possessions at that point of the game. Was that the way you draw up, and what do you think of LeBron's read there?
Well, it's kind of what I guess Kenny was asking, but you want to attack the paint, you want to put the pressure on them, and if they helped, I thought Korver got a clean look, and just putting the pressure on them. If they help, you got to make the right play, which LeBron always does, and if they don't, then get all the way to the basket because they don't have shot blockers.
Jason in the center.
Jason Lloyd, The Athletic. We talked about this a little bit before the game, but LeBron leaves for about 2 minutes, and you go from up 2 to down 7, I think it was in the first half. Did you feel like you had to play him the entire second half? And I guess the same for Kyrie because you got nothing again out of Darren. Did you feel like you just had to leave those guys on the court?
Well, I knew it was going to be a tough game for us, and for us to win, I knew I had to get LeBron at least a 2-minute blow in that first quarter because in the second half he might not get a blow. So, Kyrie was playing well. The game was on the line, so I decided to stick with those guys. Being at home down 0-2.
Do you think they just were too exhausted in the final couple minutes?
I don't know. I mean, great players, they always dig deep and have their will to win, and they gave us everything they had. Durant made 8 straight points that was very critical, 3 big shots, and that's why they brought him here, for those situations. And, I thought our team scrapped and competed. I can't be, disappointed with the effort and how we played, but, they made the plays down the stretch that we didn't execute defensively or offensively, and they took advantage of it.
Over here, the right side.
Coach Davide Chinellato, Gazzetta Italy. What is the mood now in the locker room after,
I didn't even go in there.
What is your mood? What do you think?
Of course you're deflated from losing the game that you should have won, and you're right there. But, after tonight, you got to get back to the drawing board. If we come out with the same fight intensity we did tonight, I can respect that, and we got a good chance of winning on Friday.
Thank you. Joe on the left.
Joe Vargan, Cleveland.com. We could go through things that didn't go right here or there, but when you guys, overall, I think we can all agree, you guys played a great game, and, it just didn't work out. When you play that well against a team like the Warriors, do you come to realize just the enormity of the challenge in front of you to even stay with a team like that?
No, they're a great team, but, I think we're a great team also, and they're playing at a high level. Like I said, tonight, our guys I felt we had a game that we had won that, we let slip away, and they made the plays down the stretch. So you got to give credit to those guys.
Any last question for Coach? Thank you, Coach.
Yes, sir.
Klay Thompson.